It's a journey to the land of the giants, where 500-pound beasts emerge from the shadows. These are just super stuffed, gigantic, belly-dragging monsters.
You can get into some hairy situations. Every year, you'll hear about 2 or 3 encounters where folks just got a little too close to the bears.
We're going big, I mean really big, on this Sporting Classics.
Some adventures are found at the crossroads of epic and unforgettable, and they're best enjoyed with a close friend, a companion who cherishes the sporting life just as much as you do. It's someone who knows the magic contained in the simple phrase, opening day, and who understands that the words hunter and conservationist are one and the same, for we've been giving back for generations. And sharing the outdoors with someone who celebrates the history, the art, and the romance of this way of life makes for a friendship to last the ages. One where the sound of a snickering horse, the crackling of a mountain campfire, the whiff of gunpowder will transport you to that same stirring part of the soul. Welcome to Sporting Classics. That old trusted friend who shares your love of adventure and reminds you of the greatest days of your life.
This is his track right here. Yeah.
You know, I've been hearing about these North Carolina black bears. These are gigantic fall bears, 600+ pound bears that they're taking in North Carolina. You just think of this coastal plain country of North Carolina, I think of as ground zero for the best waterfowling in the Southeast. Turns out it's really probably the best black bear hunting in North America.
They filter through here, they filter through there, and all the food sites right there.
It's been unbelievable how they've been able to have the numbers that they do, and they do the hunting they do. The place we were at, Dare to Hide, they said some years they've taken as many as 60 or 70 bears. But that's within a 2-week season. So that's a lot of bears, and there's plenty of bears to go around, let me tell you.
Our bears generally are larger than anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world that you go, and that's our main focus. You take people out here in the daytime, like in the afternoon, they're like, there's no bears here. There's a couple of trails here and there. But trust me, from someone who's been out here at nighttime, it'd blow your mind how many bears are out here.
North Carolina is a sportsman's playground with spectacular fishing, waterfowling, and whitetail opportunities throughout. But the Tar Heel State's biggest draw for outdoorsmen is black bear. And these aren't just any black bear, but enormous beasts routinely tipping the scales at over 500 pounds. Black bears don't hibernate in North Carolina, and they gorge themselves on high-calorie corn, peanuts, and other crops, which is how they grow so huge. And these massive four-legged overeaters are a serious problem for the local farmers.
On some of our farms, we have documentation of crop damage of over $75,000 a year in it. And so by hunting the bear, it's an alternative use. Plus it allows us or any other outfitter to pay the farmer something for his losses. And thus he's happy and the resource is happy.
So it's really important. Hunters come down to one of the poorest counties in the state, if not the country, and they infuse cash into rural North Carolina. And so it's really a win-win. You control these damaging, overpopulated black bears, support the local economy, and have a great time. There are several different ways to hunt black bear here. Tree stands are popular in thick woods, spot and stalk, hounds for good old-fashioned chases, or drives, a method that whitetail hunters in the Northeast and the Midwest know all too well. It's quite an operation. So we're surrounding a giant bear refuge with guns. That's the idea. We're gonna flush these monster bears out of the swamp. And you better be ready to shoot fast. That's right. Mr. Gardner, you ready? You got your brush gun?
There you go. Yeah, all he said though the big fat ones can't run very fast. That's the good news.
It's going to be a rodeo. David Gardner's an old friend of mine, and he's got a house at Brays Island Plantation in South Carolina, where I do as well. And he's a keen hunter and just a lot of fun to travel with. And he's hunted all over the world, Africa, North America, etc. So anyway, it was a great time to get up there and share the trip with somebody who was a kindred soul.
We got a little while for shooting time, but it's not really a stealthy thing. We want to keep them in there. They're in the woods.
It's not a stealthy thing. I like that. This is going to be kind of a whole new way to hunt bears. Interesting experience here. But that shot's inside of 100 yards, but it's a narrow window, so you're going to have to be on that bear, even if it's not running through and just walking through. It's a tricky shot. It's still a dangerous game animal, so you want to make it good first shot. We did a series called Dangerous Game for about 10 years. And we always interviewed somebody who was a tax survivor from the species being hunted in that show. And it always started with, I made a bad first shot. Just saying, David.
You can get into some hairy situations. Every year you'll hear about 2 or 3 encounters where folks just got a little too close to the bears, but we're not going to put ourselves in a position to have such an instance.
See there? That's small bear. Small bear.
Yeah.
Small bear.
So I'll look at him.
Yeah, just a baby. Yeah, my guess is that she's gonna have a
Mama?
There's gonna be a mama somewhere. That's a little tiny thing.
First real hunt was the next morning. It was a little bit warm, so the bears probably weren't moving like normal. Once we went on the first hunt, the first day, they immediately started talking about using the dogs for the hunt, and we got to see that in action.
When you think about bear hunting across North America, you see these mountain vistas, things like that, and it's beautiful. But here, it's a veritable hell on earth. In a lot of places, vegetation is so thick you can't see 5 or 6 feet in front of you. From thick reeds to catclaw briars or green briars, man, it's really tough.
To make an ethical kill on the animal, we got to get really close, and we don't want to hit the dog. So
you can't see the bear until you actually have to pull the shrubbery back, and that's where they take the bear.
There. Okay. Move, Bobby, move. Good job. That's the way to do it, boy.
that was insane. That was awesome.
When you come out, you've got a lot of great souvenirs on your hands and on your face, and you really feel like you earned your trophy.
That's a good bear right there, buddy. You can't turn that one down.
Yeah.
Had a lot of people do it, and people that said they didn't want to do it, and now that's all they want to do. So it's a very coveted way of harvesting a bear.
Sporting Classics is brought to you by Winchester, the American legend. Winchester Repeating Arms. Walther, it's your duty to be ready. Right on, see the difference. Negrini Cases. Ultra-light, ultra-strong, the pinnacle of Italian design and technology. Stealth Cam, proven reliability, proven quality, proven performance. And by Umarex Air Guns, shoot with air.
You've been hearing about these North Carolina black bears, these huge coastal black bears that are fed corn and soybeans. They're just a food-rich environment. They don't have to hibernate because it never really gets cold enough. So they just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Imagine a Labrador retriever that could have all the food it ever wanted. That's kind of what these black bears are.
Virtually, they're basically eating year-round. And a bear in this area can gain up to 3 pounds per day. And so you may have a bear in the early season that may be 500 pounds, and potentially by the second season, end of the second season, he could have gained another 90 pounds.
They're getting up 6, 7 pushing 800 pounds. So it's not even uncommon, frankly, at this point, to get a 500-pound black bear down here. These are just super stuffed, gigantic, belly-dragging monsters that if you want a bear like that, this is the place to come.
The second day we got out, second morning, and it was so foggy that we couldn't see out into the fields to see if there were any bears out there.
Okay, look. Okay, that's little bear, small bear, small bear. Oh, look at it. Wasn't that small? Good, look.
But we didn't see many bears either that day.
We don't have much wind. Oh, what do we have? This bear be going right here.
The best time to hunt black bear is right at dawn. Once the sun starts to climb, they return to thick cover. But this area has plenty to offer, and local naturalist and hunter Tom Harrison enjoys sharing North Carolina's amazing outdoor treasures. Harrison founded the North Carolina Black Bear Festival in 2015, an annual event drawing over 30,000 attendees to celebrate the magnificent animals in this amazing wildlife success story. Harrison is also a strong supporter of Cross Trails Outfitters, a national nonprofit organization taking kids into the outdoors to learn about hunting and fishing in a faith-based environment, to grow our next generation of leaders, and to create great memories along the way. Our guide and host, Chase Luker, shares Tom's passion for the outdoors. And when Chase isn't working in the field, he moonlights as a decoy carver and a collector. With no inexperienced hunters in the blind today, Chase figured it was safe to put a few of his antique decoys into the water. They are gorgeous, historic, and wow, do they come with a jaw-dropping price tag.
Same kind of damage.
So what would that sell for? What would this in the full cart market?
If it was in good shape, obviously he's got some condition issues. If he was perfect, 65 or 70,000, as is 9 or 10. This guy's 25-ish, maybe. But I mean, you know, as long as you can hunt with them, it's okay. As long as they don't get shot.
Yep. As long as they don't get shot.
We had one afternoon where we just decided to go out and did some duck hunting. They have about 2,000 acres that they flooded just for duck hunting, and it's a huge area for ducks.
You know, I've been kicking around a good bit of this planet for a long time, hunting waterfowl in just about any place you can do it. So I've always known of Mattamuskeet, North Carolina. That's one of the really famous historic waterfowl zones in all of North America. Oh, there we go, right there.
See that?
3.
A lot of folks come here to shoot pintails. A couple of our impoundments, that just seems what they tend to hold are pintails, but you know, we shoot a lot of widgeon, wood ducks, gadwall, and mallards as well. Watch these 4 right here.
What's this right here? Here we go.
We're a little early in the season. It was still warm. I think the day we were out there was 75, so the ducks weren't moving.
Here we go.
All right.
Up front.
But we did get one flock come over, and Chris was able to drop a couple of ducks out of there.
I see
Don't have a
them down.
dog, do we? We've seen faster hunting, but it's not always a numbers game. Spending quality time at a blind with new friends and old, and sharing the golden light of the setting sun, these are all memories we cherish. I am always grateful for moments like these, and I'm also grateful, well, that I didn't shoot the $25,000 decoy.
Well, good luck, David. This is your chance right here.
I'm ready. I'm ready to rock.
Sounds like the big ones are just standing there, just trying to get them to stay in there until it's light enough.
As soon as it gets light, we'll start crossing the six.
So Rob said, look, there's a giant bear out in this field. We've been seeing them. We got to get out there, but we got to get out there super early. And
We got there very early, probably 45 minutes at least before sunup. So Chris set up on one corner of the field. I went halfway down the field with my guide.
Split up, take one end of the field, I'll take the other end of the field, and just wait for these bears to sort of make a move back to cover and cut them off.
One bear started walking right into the corner where Chris was.
Hey, looks like a good one for sure.
But again, it's dark. I mean, it's really early morning, and these bears are just moving around as nocturnal creatures do when it's still that low light situation.
Walking right to us again. It's good right now. We had everything lined up. We had the wind work in our favor. Go ahead, get it when you can. Go ahead, get it when you can. Good hit, good hit, good hit. And Chris made a good shot and everything worked out well.
Still very early light, but just after opening light. And he didn't go far, and that was the giant bear. We got up there, and it's amazing the size of these bears. Big old bear.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Drug you all around, all over, everywhere.
Once you get up to one of these bears, a 500-pounder plus, I mean, it's extraordinary how thick these things are.
Nice, big, fat neck, big head. Great bear.
Of course, they're fall bears, so they're gaining 3 or 4 pounds a day throughout the fall, but they're just massive, and this beast had a huge head.
It probably weighs 60 pounds.
That's a big bear, right? Big shoulders, giant claws.
Look at his foot. He's a really long, big frame bear, very typical for that particular area we're hunting. His belly was not real fat, not a lot of extra weight on him, but because of the sheer size of his frame, he carried a lot of weight all the way throughout.
Thanks, buddy.
Great job. Good shooting.
Thank you. That's why you come to North Carolina right there.
That's right.
So once I got my bear, Dave was still at the end of the field. They started doing a bit of a drive in this giant reed field. And Rob just stayed on the outside edge of this thicket just in case a bear came out.
Right here, right here, right here.
Sure enough, as soon as I got next to Dave and Adam, Rob's like, hey, down here, get down here, get down here.
Come on.
Want more big game? Check out Chris Dorsey's newest book, Director's Cut, a 400-page full-color celebration of big game hunting. Each signed copy comes with a 4-hour companion film. Order today. Sporting Classics is brought to you by Winchester, the American legend. Winchester Repeating Arms. Walther, it's your duty to be ready. Negrini cases, ultra-light, ultra-strong, the pinnacle of Italian design and technology. Muddy, serious gear for serious hunters. Cold Steel, anytime, anywhere. And by Safari Club International, the leader in defending the freedom to hunt and promoting wildlife conservation worldwide.
As we were standing, again, looking up and down the path for bears, it wasn't long, and
Right here, right here, right here.
he started yelling down at us, you know, get over here, because there's one coming out.
I offered to let David try out my reliable Winchester Model 70 and 300 Win Mag with Winchester Expedition big game loads, but he insisted on, well, shooting his own rifle and his own ammo. And sure enough, a really nice bear had come out.
Oh, big bear.
And as soon as he gets into the clearing, this bear cuts across left to right.
Quickly set up for a shot, and I got my gun up and clicked, misfire. So we were like, I looked over at whoever was beside me, and we were like, uh-oh. I rifled in another round, but by that time the bear had taken off running towards the reed patch, and everybody's yelling, quick before he gets in the reeds.
That'll do it! Way to go, Gardner! This bear's at 150 plus yards, running left to right, and he just pops it right through the shoulders. High shoulder shot, drops right there. Nice shot, man. That was a great shot. In a 550-pound black bear. It was just extraordinary how fast it happened, and he made the most of his opportunity with one hell of a shot.
Woo!
Yeah, the old high shoulder shot works every time.
Congratulations. Beauty.
Way to go, man.
Butterball.
He was not quite as long as Chris's bear. Chris's bear was a little longer, but mine was a very heavy bear.
Great shot, dude, man. That's a perfect shot. Right there, just anchored him right there.
Yes, sir. I told you we were going to have to judge
Awesome,
this.
wow. That was such a
They
cool
went down
shot.
like a sack of potatoes.
You just anchored him right there. And bears don't anchor easily, man.
Oh.
Well, it tapped the primer, but it didn't tap it hard.
That was weird.
You could upgrade to a Winchester anytime.
I will use my Winchester next time, I promise. And as we rolled it over, we saw a beautiful chevron that the bear had, a nice white chevron right on its chest. But it was a beautiful bear, great big head, great big jowls, and these bears are just huge. They put on the weight, and the size is unbelievable.
So Dave's was 548. 543. 543.
They were
Nice job, guys.
4 pounds difference. 543 pounds and 547 pounds. That's generally how we judge our bears here, is by weight. They don't look like black bears from anywhere else in the world. These coastal North Carolina bruins are really giants.
What a wonderful zone of all the places. First time I've hunted North Carolina, and the monster bears, just the abundance of monster bears, the waterfowl, swan hunting, woodcock. I mean, it's a sportsman's paradise, to say nothing of the fishing. So it really is kind of a gem that a lot of people have never experienced, and frankly, in the sporting world, not a lot have even heard about all these great things down there.